Hello, my dear, beautiful, shining beings. It is I, Silvia Hartmann, coming to you from beautiful Eastbourne by the sea. And I've decided just to be a ray of sunshine today and to be happy and enjoy the time that we are going to be spending together here this beautiful morning. It's been an amazing week once again. Lots and lots of things have happened. And there are one or two things that we're going to be possibly talking about. But I most certainly have hope. I have many reasons for feeling hopeful. And I hope that you will too by the time we're done with today's Sunday Live with Silvia. Good morning, Wendy. Hello. Ray of sunshine to you, straight from that great, wonderful sun that is always shining, whether we see it or not. And the rays even travel through the earth itself. And so it doesn't matter if it's night or day, or whether it's cloudy or whatever it is, the sun will always reach you and it will always shine upon you. Actually, while we're sitting there and waiting for the other guys to arrive, one of my favorite things was there was a lady once. Ooh, lots of people joining us here. Morning, Julie. Hello, Pavel, all the way from Novosibirsk, is it? And Lorna as well. Good morning, my dear Lorna. Lovely to see you guys here with me this morning. I was just talking about rays of sunshine and how the sun touches us all and brings, not just photons, but surely this big ball of amazingness that is the sun can bring us energy, sunshine energy. And I think, sunshine energy is a beautiful thing. It really is. It's nice to be a sunny sort of a person. Good morning, Marguerite, all the way from the Netherlands. How wonderful to have you here with us this morning. Good morning. And Roberta, hello, Roberta. Roberta is from the US of A. We've got a very international audience here this morning, all being blessed by the beautiful rays of sunshine that travel through the earth and through the clouds, and it's always there to bless us all, which is wonderful. Now I was just going to, I just remembered this lady. This was at an emo conference at the Hotel California, also known as the Europa Gatwick. And if you've ever been there, then you will have also fond and also strange memories of it. And I was doing a sort of a private session with this lady, and I used the sun healer. I decided to use the sun healer for her because she had such an enormous list of problems. I just told her to stand in the sunshine and face the sun and allow the sun's rays to move herself so that she could actually feel the impact of the sun's rays on her heart. And she said this amazing thing, which was that she felt that she shouldn't be doing this because she'd be taking sunshine away from another person. And I had this wonderful star moment of enlightenment there. And I was like, no, it's amazing. It doesn't matter how many human beings are standing around on planet Earth. The rays of the sun, everybody gets their own. They don't have to share them with anybody else. Nobody else can have that sun that's falling, that's coming to you. You can't share it with anybody. It is yours. And I just thought that was so beautiful. And this lady was, oh my God, this is true. These are my own sun particles. That nobody else, I don't take them, I'm not taking them away from anyone else. And she was like, wow, this is the first time I feel I can have something that's completely my own and I don't have to share it with anyone. It's a beautiful moment, star memory. And that's great because I have today or yesterday really advised the Star Matrix people to make a real effort to focus on their star memories this week and to make sure to add at least 3 memories into their book of stars. And as always, I like to lead from the front. So, yeah, absolutely. While we're here, guys, how about if I asked you to remember a really good memory, that somehow had sunshine in it or related to it, that happened in the sunshine, or where the sunshine played a really big part in the energy and the experience of that moment. I wonder if you can remember something like that. And yeah, I mean, the for me, of course, the sun healer thing that originated actually in Bosnia, in Sarajevo. I was I was there with a sort of a group of war survivors and civil war survivors, and these people had been horribly injured in all sorts of ways. And I was literally, what are you going to do? You know, this was before Star Matrix as well, and before many of the things we take for granted. And I thought, well, what is there? And I looked around for help for the environment. And the buildings, they all had great big holes in them from gunfire and rocket fire. And there was just nothing green at all. That must have been cut down for firewood or something at some point. It was just horrible. It was a mess. And there was the sun in the sky. And I went, oh, wow. And had this idea of getting them all standing in the sunshine, turning towards the sun, doing that sun healing thing, which is, you know, this is beyond humans. When people have had such terrible experiences with humans, it's so clearly nature. It's so powerful. And that's where that sun healer thing came from. And it was absolutely beautiful. And there was one lady who had had all her children killed in front of her, and her husband as well, and her father and her uncle. And she said, "You've given me the sunshine back." And that was kind of a secondary thing that happened as well. That was also a star moment. I was very moved by that. So yeah, guys, let's we can be the sunshine as well, you know, metaphorically. We can be, when everybody else is being miserable and depressed and scared and confused, we can still be the sunshine. We can still direct people's attention on their own personal power, on what they can do. And it's just a wonderful thing, really. Good morning, Ilka from Germany. Hello. I've got, this morning, I've got my little daily diamonds. I made a little daily diamond necklace thing, charm. And this is about seeing the sparkling raindrops in the morning on the grass, the dewdrops in the grass, and they look like diamonds. It's another star event. I've had so many amazing experiences in this life. I have been so blessed with that. And until we started doing Star Matrix, I literally didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. I was always dissatisfied. I was always like, oh, I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve, and this, that, and the other, and really kind of negative, if you will, about my life. And that's understandable, because we've all been taught to look for the bad stuff. And even though I have resisted this, when you start to look for the good stuff, now that's a whole totally different world. It's a totally different world. And I am beginning to actually even softening my attitude somewhat towards gratitude. And that's really something. Good morning, Renata. Hello, my dear. Woo-hoo. Thank you for taking the precious time to come and join us here today. Just saw, Paul. Good morning, Paul. Hello. Just saw this. Julie says, I remember the first time I went to Idaho in the USA. I went on a boat trip on this lake, and the sun was reflecting in ripples on the water, and I felt lit up. Oh, yes, Julie, absolutely. One, that's something that can raise my energy state and just transport me. Sparkles on the water. That's just a flood of star memories when the sparkles on the water came to my rescue, or just enlivened me, or just reminded me of the spiritual nature of the world. It's the most wonderful thing. Thank you so much, Julie, for reminding me of the sparkles on the water. Oh, that just makes me tingle throughout. Oh, Wendy. Blossom. That's a sweet thing. Good morning, Barbara. Hello there. And Dee, good morning, Dee. Hey. Oh, we have a wonderful, wonderful congregation of shining beings here this morning. And, you know, man. And I just yeah. Okay, I'm gonna talk about gratitude for a moment. I'm going to talk about gratitude for a moment. Now, for my entire life, I have really, really resisted the whole concept that you should be grateful for stuff, right? If you're not grateful, then you're a bad person. Now, I personally have never been grateful for being forced to eat Brussels sprouts when I didn't want them. I have never been a fan of this whole thing of, if you don't want something, oh, think of the poor starving refugees in ... and you should be grateful. And I've hated that. And there's other variations of that. You get a good beating, that leaves you broken and in pieces, and you're supposed to be grateful for it because it's, I don't know, supposed to teach you something. And I was never, ever a fan of that. And when this became popular in sort of new agey type things, or even positive psychology, to adopt an attitude of gratitude, I just went, no, I'm not having this. I am not having this. Absolutely not. Not having this. This is starting all over again, being grateful for shit I'm not grateful for. I'm not having this. And then I had a personal experience of real gratitude. Something happened, and I experienced a moment of gratitude. And that was such an extraordinary emotion. That was so moving. I'm not even going to go anywhere near this because I'm going to burst out into tears if I do. That was so powerful, so transformative. And in that moment, I also understood why my aspect had always battled against the fake gratitude. Why she had literally, like the flaming sword of St. Michael, stood there and said, get away with your gratitude, or I'm going to cut your head off. Gratitude, real gratitude is extraordinary. Accept no substitutes. Now that'll be an interesting star memory question. Have you ever experienced in this lifetime, or any other if you will, a moment of extreme transformative gratitude yourself? Do you know, because of that, what I'm talking about when I talk about real gratitude? And how that has to come from within. And how that is a transformative experience that is as amazing, I mean, just as amazing and more than falling in love. Have you had such an experience ever? Real gratitude. That's the sort of thing See, I think that an experience of real gratitude, when you know what gratitude really is, because you felt it, you've lived it, you know it, you've been inside of it, you've been transformed by it, that acts like a lighthouse. It's a lighthouse, it's a beacon that says, this is the real gratitude. And this other stuff that where people are trying to make shame you into being grateful when you don't feel like it is awful. And let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's just, I don't know, practice other things, practice loving, practice helping people, just go through life, try and be a good person. And then it'll happen that one day you will understand the real meaning of gratitude. And then and then you can, wow, it's just wow. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the comments. Barbara said, okay, let's just bring that one up. Tapping with a teen at addiction center, seeing her transform in front of me. It's interesting that should have triggered a sense of this real gratitude and knowing what that feels like. Renata says, mine was being with my dad as he made his transition so peacefully. Wow, yes. Not going to even read out the rest because that really moves me to tears, not sad tears, but it's just such a powerful energy movement. Wow. Yes, exactly. Yeah, right. So now that you know what gratitude is, and then you hear those platitudes in pop psychology about gratitude and how you're supposed to achieve that, you just know that's never ever going to work. It's just nothing. It's just, oh God. Whoo-hoo. Hello, Håkon. Yeah. So yeah, gratitude is one of those miracles, I think. Proper gratitude is one of those miracles. And until it's really happened to you and you've understood what it is, and it's just a word that's been bandied about and it doesn't really do much good at all. And okay. Yeah, so I guess you've noticed I've got my I can see that some of you are having now sort of streams of star memories of gratitude. And that's really, really nice, real gratitude, that would be, not the horrible fake in a tube, oh, you should be more grateful. Fuck off. I'll be grateful for the things that make me go to my knees, and that's when my real gratitude will ring the universe like a bell. And until then, it's just not good enough for me to be having that experience. Now, look at that. Let's put the goalposts a little bit higher. But I was going to mention what's behind me here. I'm going to just grab it. So this was my week thing this week, my theme this week. Hope. This says hope. I got distraught at the beginning of the week about the state of the world. And, I just got distraught. It happens, doesn't it? Let's see if I can hang that back up, or is it going to fall down? Yay. Hope. And so I made this symbol thing, and then something amazing happened. So I did the outlines. Next morning I woke up, and the first thing that came to my mind was a poem. Imagine a world where magic is real, where every thought returns to you threefold. And I wrote the poem, I posted the poem, didn't even bother to put a picture with it. And to my utter amazement, that's the most popular post this entire year, this poem. And I'm like, you have no idea, guys. You have no ideas how that has shocked me, amazed me, and given me hope. I mean, poetry is supposed to be the worst selling kind of writing of all times, and that if you want to die a death, then do poetry. You know, the fact that so many people connected with that poem and loved it and shared it, I was like, oh my God, there's hope. There's hope for humanity. There's hope for me personally, as not just some techniques teacher. You know, I am not just some spiritual guru type person. I'm not some personal development person. I have the soul of an artist. I'm sorry to say, I do. And the fact that actually I got positive feedback on a poem, that just an absolute star event that I haven't finished processing yet on so many different levels. There is hope. As long as people can still read a poem and feel something and say, yeah, I like that, and then share it with other people, my God, there's hope for humanity. There really is. I'm just absolutely thrilled by that. Ah, yeah, I'm just reading here, just reading some of the comments here. You know, there is actually hope. Yeah, Dee said that. Dee said it touched hearts. Yes, yeah, right. It must have done, because I actually really wrote it from my heart. You know, I actually wrote it from my heart that morning. I woke up after having done that hope thing, and it just came from my heart. I wrote it from my heart, and other people heard me. They heard me. They heard my poem. I'm just like, wow. So thank you so much for everyone who liked it or loved it or shared it, from literally from my heart. That was so, that was, I got, it's one of those things, you think silly that I'm delighted that, I've got 20 shares on a poem. But for me, that was a real beacon of hope. That lighthouse again, that lighthouse of hope, above the stormy seas where, you're being tossed and turned and all the soldiers are screaming. So, yeah. And then I finished it the next day, the hope poem and the painting, and that's hanging up on the wall. And it's a wonderful positive, is hope. It is something that we really, I believe that it's possibly one of the most powerful positives that any human being could strive for. It's like literally like this inner flame that burns brighter and brighter and brighter and gives you just, I don't know, it's like, now I'm a very old lady. I used to watch a TV show as a child called Bonanza. And it started off with a map, and then somebody put a match, a burning match, into the middle of the map, and then the whole map burnt up and burnt away. And then you could actually see, instead of this flat map, the real beautiful ranch that was behind it with the living people on it. And that's what my dear energy mind just did with this hope thing, that we have these old, outdated maps in our heads that get between us and reality itself, and the reality of people, the reality of nature, the reality of everything. And that hope is that lit match that burns that old map away, so that we get back with, back with the plot, back with real nature, back with real reality, rather than some silly insanity, you know. Yeah, so hope is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'd love to do something with hope, seeing that that was the theme of the week with the poem as well and all these other things that are giving me hope. I had an idea this morning that's also given me hope, which is also nice. So, yeah, tell me something. What do you hope for? What would you like, what do you hope for? And at this point, we might just go with something that, you might think, oh, silly. A silly thing to think, like a cure for cancer. A silly thing to hope for. But this is sort of an energy thing, isn't it? Everything starts with hope that there is such a thing, that such a thing could be found or achieved. Or hope for humanity. There's no hope for them. Just look at the history. Just look at what's going on around us. There's just no hope. And to just somehow find that flame that burns that old map away and to say, God Almighty, as long as there's life, there's hope. Yeah, to heal the world. Hope to heal the world. And Barbara, if we're using the term healed in modern energy, we don't mean a sick thing that just gets to zero and can function again in the factory. To me, the concept of healing, if we're going to have it at all, should be to return to the even flow plus 10 state of absolute sparkling power and just vitality and laughter and dancing and smiling and sparkling and just proactivity rather than just not being in pain anymore. Which is why I'm always dubious with the word healing and I often word around it so I don't have to use it because people are in their old maps that we are still yet to burn away, but I have hope. They're still equating healing with peace, with not being in pain, with not suffering, with not war. And that's just not good enough as a goal. We need to go way beyond that. And we need to then either expand the concept of healing or just taking it out altogether if it can't be saved and just replacing it with something else. Let's see what other ideas people have had here. This was an interesting one. Let's take these. Hope that people open their hearts to develop respect for all beings and the animal kingdom. Okay, that's a nice beginning of hope. And we can possibly expand that to love, can't we? Hope that the hope that people will fall in love with each other and nature. Oh, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Oh, I think that's quite an interesting one. What's this one? I hope we remember who we are and claim our magnificence, our joy, and our love. Love that, Julie. That's beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Really love that. So let that hope, Julie, let that hope become from a little flame, just really rise up to become this firebrand, this firestorm that burns away the old, that just turns it into stardust and lets it fly away. Let that hope really expand and enliven and enlighten you. I think that'd be absolutely beautiful. Ilka says, ooh, love this. The hope that people will fall in love. Oh, perhaps we can get people to fall in love with love. The power of the positives. I I'm transcribing that at the moment, which is a long, slow process. It's extraordinary how many words my aspects can pack into half an hour. It really is. I'm only on unit 3. But that's falling in love with love is what the power of the positives is all about, really. Fantastic. Okay, let's have a look what other hope. Oh, that's a nice one. Hakon says, I hope to make the world dance. Yes, absolutely. That's a lovely hope. Dancing in the streets. That video just came in, dancing in the streets with joy and people just being happy and hugging each other and across the divides, across things. That, yeah, lovely, beautiful. Can this be achieved? I don't know, but I can have hope. That's my contribution here. I can't take 8 billion people by the hand and lead them out of their houses to start dancing in the streets. Slap them round the face a bit. Here's oi, stop it with the fighting, start dancing. Can't do that. But I can keep my hope alive that there is a way. They say where there is a will, there's a way. They say that. And I believe that. I believe that. We can start with the hope and not let other people tell us that's a forlorn hope or you're deluding yourself or it's stupid of you to hope. Because hope is an energy thing. And people who don't understand energy don't understand hope. But we do. And that in and of itself gives me hope. Hey. Let's have a look what else we got here. That's interesting. I hope that there's something much better growing out of the crisis. That's an interesting thing that you should say that. I was replying to some beautiful messages on the SMX2 group, Star Matrix 2 group this morning. That's the first thing I did when I got up. And I had this strange sense of a sunrise there. That if we weren't to look at this time as this terrible destruction, look, back to this idea of the map that you see on the screen, and then this little matchstick burn comes in the middle, and then this old map burns away, and real reality becomes revealed all of a sudden. That is sort of that sunrise idea, that there is that this is not a terrible thing, that there may well be the opportunity here to have a fresh start, to really look at nature and at reality itself. And that includes the reality of people screaming and rioting and shouting abuse at each other and losing common sense left, right, and center in their debates and arguments, getting stupider and stupider. That is also a reality. And perhaps that's going to be finally the wake-up call that you can no longer ignore the fact that human beings have emotions. And that we should be asking the question, what are emotions? How do they work? What's going on here? And starting to understand the world with 6 senses instead of 5. That's my big revolution, isn't it? To have that 6th sense of the emotions there. Soon as we do that, then we start to understand this whole energy body thing, the fact that we can do group bubbles, couple bubbles, that ideas can spread invisibly amongst people, and it's not all about talking or reasoned argument at all, and that emotions are the big drivers of humanity. Perhaps this is finally the opportunity to say to these old fogies, stop it with the waffle, accept the fact that if you don't understand human emotions, you will never understand anything. You will never be able to build a civilization because it'll be always overthrown again. You will never be able to create a functioning multicultural, multiracial society because as soon as they get stressed, they're all going to fall back into their old factions and start hacking themselves to pieces again, as we're seeing all over the world. Perhaps it's finally time to wake up. Emotions are the most important thing in a human being's life. What can I say? Perhaps it's an opportunity. Okay. Renata says, definitely how I feel about this time. I hope this is a huge change we have been asking for, that we then all understand energy and emotions. Haha, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's, yeah, hoo-hoo, wouldn't that be something? That's the beginning of a whole new science. It's the beginning of a whole new justice system. It's the beginning of a whole new way to appraise who's successful in life and who isn't. That's a whole new, different approach to be living life and to stop focusing on all the bad shit in the past, which is bringing us down and making us crazy, and to start building better systems here, there, and everywhere. You know, my aspects called this little free ebook that I've got with the basics in it, Revolution. And I believe it is. The Sixth Sense thing is a paradigm shift. It's a real revolution, and we need it. Humanity needs it. I think we've proven that. And that's, yeah, it's really rather interesting, isn't it? I wish I had another 30 years or so to see how this all plays out. But I'm happy that I've taken the time and the care and the effort to not run around like some great guru and sell things and just, oh man, and start a personality cult and all the rest of it. But I've sat back and done the research properly and slowly and carefully and tested and tested and tested. And it's, you know, it's right, it's ready, it works. We just need to tell some more people about it now. When the time is right, that will happen. I have hope. Okay, guys. Well, we've been here quite some time, haven't we? Let's just, I love you very much. I've really enjoyed being with you here this morning. And if you are joining us later or watching the replay, know that you are loved also. And I thank you for your time and your attention. And I really hope you are getting something from what I'm talking about, the ideas that we are expressing here. And I think this is just such a beautiful thing. Let's just briefly place our hands in the heart position. Take a deep breath in and out. And just think about that you hope will come into being. And don't be poverty riddled. Don't ask just for a little renaissance in one country or in one tribe, or just a little bit more understanding. Go for the big one, love. Go for the whole world. You can hope that. You can hope expansively. The beautiful thing is that if you should get bitterly disappointed, which is what all the other people are so terrified of, you can always tap on it. They'll be fine. We can hope in a whole new way, in a much more expansive way than anyone else could ever hope before. Just take a moment and focus on that hope that you have for yourself, for your society, for your race, for your humanity. And really let that hope, the little flicker, expand, grow into a massive flame. And if you want, that flame can burst right through the top of your head and become a fountain. A folding fountain bright that reaches high and higher still. Lets everybody know, even at the highest levels, that we have hope. And that is something that we want. I love that. Well, I feel sparkly, slightly serene. I love that hope thing. Please feel free to share this with your students, with your followers, with your colleagues. It's a beautiful thing. We don't know how things will play out and what happens next, but we can certainly have that beautiful power of hope. I thank you so much for your beautiful presence today. Thank you for your time, which is quite wonderful. I would like to say I have a video recorded at the last GOE conference, How to Make Time Your Friend. That is a really, really good thing. It's got some energy tapping in it, how to make time to be on your side, to have your back, to be your friend. This is something, doesn't matter if you've done it before, do it afresh. This will help you a lot. Stay strong, stay full of hope in these changing times. Sending you lots and lots of love, sparkles of diamonds. Dear Lucas, lovely to see that you were here also. Have a wonderful day and keep hope, not just alive, but burning brightly always. Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now. Bye.